How's it going, guys? Alpha here, bringing you my NPL Season 3 Week 2 Team Builder, and this week we take on the Reno Regis and their coach, Eric, formerly known as the Sionis. I got it right this time. We were in Eric's division last season. He was in our division, whatever. We played each other twice. We had one really close game, one not so close game. A lot of flinching. Not salty at all. And we're playing him twice again this season because he is in our division once again, much like Ben. He doesn't have Jirachi this season, so that's good, but he does have a fucking terrifying team that consists of Landorus Incarnate, that is sheer force Landorus Incarnate, the only Mon that went from the ban list to legal this season. Volcanion, which is his Z-move user, whatever. So that's kind of scary in the sun, in the rain, with whatever else Volcanion can do. Just a really, really powerful water or fire or whatever grass move that could blow my shit away. Mega Scizor, one of the better megas, really, in terms of like defensive typing and bulk and bullshit. Sylveon, which I'm not all that worried about. My team actually does really, really good work against Sylveon. There's not a lot my team has to do. I mean, other than like Hydreigon, there's not a lot that Sylveon threatens on my team. So I'm not all that worried about it. Still have a little bit of prep into it, but we'll cross that bridge if it comes to it. Conkeldurr, which is terrifying. I brought all of my Conkeldurr switch-ins this week because I don't have a lot of them, and I don't have Mega Guard, but that doesn't really count because Conkeldurr gets Poison Jab. Kamala, which is an annoying, rapid-spinning, bulky Mon that can Wish Pass and cannot be Toxic, which is god-awful. Tyrantrum, which just destroys. It's the ultimate Victini check. Roserade, Mesprit, Liepard, and Frostlass. Roserade, not that worried about. I feel like I have it okay covered, kind of. Mesprit, I don't like the prospect of having to deal with it because I don't have a lot to handle it, but what I do have I think can do the job. Liepard is kind of an issue only because I don't really have anything to really, other than superpower on Mamoswine, I don't have a lot to hit it with. Didn't really have an option with that. Frostlass, not that worried about. I have plenty of checks to be able to deal with it. Victini being the most obvious, even though it does get Shadow Ball, which is kind of a problem, but we're not going to talk about that. Bringing a very weird team this week, and the reason being I just did not know how to deal with Landorus and all the rest of the shit at the same time, so the result is beautiful. First up, we have Orange Julius, our Victini, who didn't get any kills last week. I was kind of disappointed. Very weird for Victini to go kill this, I feel, in its first game. But it did. Anyways, Orange Julius is holding the Psychium Z this week with Victory Star, Psyshock, Skill Swap, Thunderbolt, and Blue Flare. 48 in HP, 252 in Special Attack, 4 in Special Defense, and 204 in Speed with a modest nature. Now you may be asking yourself, Alpha, I guess that wouldn't be to yourself. You may be asking, Alpha, why does Victini have Skill Swap? Why is Victini holding Psychium Z? Well, I needed to get Victini up over Landorus' speed tier, which is 101 when Victini's speed is 100. Psychium Z boosted Skill Swap boosts your speed. 2, he's got a bunch of abilities Victini could very, 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 very much take advantage of. That wasn't really a sentence, but that Victini would very much appreciate having. 1 being Sheer Force, 2 being Water Absorb, 3 would be taking Technician away from Mega Scizor, not really needing it. I guess taking Hyper Voice or Pixelate away from Sylveon, but not really. Taking Guts away from Conkeldurr would be awesome. Taking Sheer Force from Conkeldurr would be awesome. Iron Fist wouldn't really benefit me, but it's whatever. Taking Comatose from Komala, I'm not entirely sure how that works. Like if I Toxic it when it doesn't have Comatose, and then it switches out and gets Comatose back, I don't know if Toxic still works, so I don't know. Taking Rockhead from Tyrantrum could actually be a really good thing, only because if I need to sack something off and I can take Rockhead from Tyrantrum and make him use Head Smash on my Victini, and Victini has to go down that way, I ran a calc in a test match. It ends up taking a ton of damage on its own right, and Tyrantrum is kind of a problem for my team, so I'm actually okay with that. Taking Technician from Roserade or Natural Cure from Roserade could also be good. Taking Levitate from Mesprit would be fucking huge. Lipard gets Prankster, which actually I don't know if Skill Swap works with that. Maybe? I'm not entirely sure. And then Frostlass gets Curse Body, which could be kind of fun, I guess, but I don't know. Anyways, the big thing would here is if I could get above Landorus to speed tier and take Sheer Force from it for whatever reason, I don't know why I would be outspeeding Landorus, but it would have to be on a switch basically. But that would literally, it would just mean I can just run over his team at that point. The reason I'm packing Psyshock is really just for the Conkeldurr. It also helps with the Sylveon, but the big thing is Conkeldurr just because it's commonly run with AV unless it's Guts. In which case, it could still really honestly be run with AV because, you know, it's more of a status absorber then. And I didn't really need a whole lot of other coverage. It would be nice to get Glaciate on here for Landorus, but at +1, I mean, not a +1, with Sheer Force, if I do manage to get it, I OHKO with Blue Flare, most variants anyways, so I'm not that worried about it. Not that I think I'll actually manage to pull off Sheer Force, but if I do, and if not, I'm pretty sure one after Rocks kills it. It's a very complicated set. It's one that I don't expect to work, but I needed some kind of like reassurance other than Ice Shard on Mamoswine to kill Landorus, so this is what I came up with. Next up, we have Lancelot, our Cobalion, holding the air balloon this week with Justified, Stealth Rock, Volt Switch, Hidden Power, Ice, and Toxic, 244 in HP, 60 in Special Defense, and 204 in Speed with a Timid Nature. This one's kind of weird. I needed a Landorus switch in. Mind you, I needed a Landorus switch in to not only Earth Power, but also to Sludge Wave, and Cobalion without an air balloon can only switch into one of those. I needed both, so that was my option. I'm sure he'll bring it because I have Mega Gardevoir, even though I'm not bringing Mega Guard. It's something that I feel like you kind of need to rely on to deal with Mega Guard, because he doesn't have, I mean, he has Poison Jab on Conkeldurr, and he has Bullet Punch on Mega Scizor, and he gets Sludge Wave also on Volcanion, so maybe he does have coverage for it. I don't know. That was just kind of like whatever. Stealth Rocks are huge this match, just to chip down Landorus and put him in range, to wear down Volcanion. Put a little bit of chip on Mega Scizor, and that's pretty much it. I mean, obviously wear down like things like Mesprit and Roserade and Komala would be nice too, but it's mainly for those top 3, whatever. Volt Switch is huge just to get initiative. His only ground type is Landorus, so once Landorus is out of the way, I can freely switch around his team, which is really good. Hidden Power Ice is obviously for the fucking Landorus, and Toxic is for things that aren't Roserade and Mega Scizor. I don't expect him to bring Heal Bell this week because I don't expect him to bring Sylveon because my team handles it pretty well. If he does bring Heal Bell, well then Toxic's just, you know, I could still put pressure on him by Toxicing things. It forces Sylveon in then. Next up we have Big Frank, our Mamoswine, our monster of a Mamoswine who put in the finest work last week, holding the Choice Band this week with Thick Fat, Ice Shard, Knockoff, Superpower, and Earthquake, 252 in HP, 252 in attack, and 4 in special defense with an Adamant Nature. I'm pretty sure the reason I'm running Max Attack Adamant Choice Band is because that was the only way that I could kill most variants of Landorus Incarnate. I'm pretty sure that's why. Let me just double check that. This is the wrong Landorus, my bad. Yeah, I OHKO even a max HP, max defense Landorus. I mean, at that point, it's not a big deal because Victini deals with it then. But I OHKO a non-Yachi Berry Landorus, basically, with Choice Band. So I'm not that worried about that. The only thing that this does cause problems for, it allows Mega Scizor to come in and set up, it allows Volcanion to come in and put a sub up, and it allows... who else? Oh, and Conkeldurr, like, bulk up. And I don't know what I'm dealing to Tyrantrum there, but that also sounds like it could probably come in and set up on me. Let me actually check that. Oh, just kidding. This cannot come in and set up on me. Never mind. So yeah, it kind of allows Conkeldurr Scizor and Volcanion free reign, but I'm actually pretty okay with that just because I think I have ways of dealing with those particular scenarios. The biggest ones being like I have Victini for Mega Scizor. I don't think he's going to bring a Swords Dancing Scizor, and if he does, well then fuck me. Knockoff is there for the Mesprit mainly, but it's also nice to just get items off of things. Obviously, I can't knock an item off of Mega Scizor, and I can't knock an item off of Volcanion if it's packing a Z Crystal, but it is still nice to have, especially if he wants to run like Scarflanders, or, well, not really Scarflanders, actually. If he wants to run like a Toxic Orb or Flame Orb, Guts Conkeldurr, or Assault Vest Conkeldurr, things like that. If he wants to bring a Sash Mesprit, well, that's not going to matter because I would pop the Sash, but never mind. I have my reasons, okay? Superpower is there just for coverage, and by coverage, I mean Komala and Liepard and Tyrantrum to a degree, but I have Earthquake, so that's a better play. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. I shard Oko's a lot of the stuff on his team. Or if it doesn't Oko, it comes close. I think even Roserade, like if he for whatever reason brought like max Roserade, I'm pretty sure it still gets Oko by a shard. Oh, just kidding. If he brings max HP Roserade, it actually might live. If he brings max, it does live. Even after rocks, but still, if he's gonna bring max, it's not a threat to me. So. Yeah, so that's Mamoswine, pretty straightforward. Earthquake just covers the rest of his team. I can't really do much to a Scizor. My Banded Earthquake's definitely... He cannot switch into a Banded Earthquake, but, let me actually check that. If he's bulky, my Earthquakes are doing more than half, yeah. His Bullet Punches aren't gonna Oko me either, so that's really nice, and even if he does have the range to kill me, I bring in Victini and kill. It's no big deal. Next up, we have Wendy, our Gastrodon, holding leftovers of Storm Drain, Scald, Recover, Ice Beam, and Earth Power. 196 in HP, 164 in defense, and 148 in special defense with a Bold Nature. This thing is a little bit different than the one I ran last week. Obviously not carrying Toxic this week. Carrying Earth Power instead. Earth Power is there because it's my best option for breaking a Volcanion sub, and that is terrifying to say. Ice Beam obviously there for the Landorus because his team covers his ice weakness really well, but I have to bring it because it's a fucking Landorus. Recover there to stay alive and Scald to burn things. If I could get a burn off on the Mega Scizor or on the Tyrantrum, that'd be huge. Even on the Liepard, that'd be pretty good actually. But other than that, it's pretty self-explanatory. It has a chance to put in a lot of work because there's not a lot of things on this team that can really touch me. Like if he brought like Hidden Power Grass, or like Solar Beam or Leaf Storm on Roserade, that's about the extent of his coverage for me. It also allows me free switch-ins to Volcanion, which is really, really nice. This EV spread is kind of just because I was really anal about it and wanted very, very even EV spreads. But let me just actually pull up with what I have currently locked in to see what I'm even talking about at the moment. Okay, so the Mega Scizor can't touch me with this spread. The Landorus still fucking bodies me with this spread because Landorus is busted. Earth Power still does 70% max, which is ridiculous, but I have Ice Beam, so as long as I'm not low, I'm pretty good. What about the Volcanion? If it has HP Grass, it just straight up Okos me. If it has Earth Power instead of HP Grass, which I don't think he would bring it because HP Grass makes more sense to cover Gastrodon. Otherwise, I wall it entirely. He's still not doing enough to break through my bulk unless he gets Spit F drops. Conkeldurr. I need something to take knockoffs, and this is probably my best option, which is terrifying. Drain Punch is doing about 40% max. Knockoff is doing 35 max with my item, and Mach Punch isn't doing jack shit, so Conkeldurr really can't touch me either. Tyrantrum, do I have a Head Smash switch in? I doubt it. See if he brings CB Head Smash. Oh, I have a switch into CB Head Smash. I don't have a switch into Outrage, unfortunately. Which kind of sucks, but I could OHKO with Earthquake, so that's okay. That's banded anyways, so, I mean, if he brings D-Dance, I might have a problem. Let's see, D-Dance. Oh, I switch into Head Smash all day. Yeah, that won't be a problem. Yeah, the only thing that really causes Gastrodon problems is Roserade, which is why I think I might actually see the Roserade. The way I look at it, I'm seeing Landorus, I'm seeing Volcanion and Mega Scizor. Conkeldurr, Roserade, and either Mesprit or Liepard is what I'm thinking. Just because it covers my team relatively well, so to speak, and it allows him to put pressure on some of my walls, basically. Except Roserade really can't touch Cobalion, which is nice. Next up, we have Davy Jones, our Delmise, holding the Iron Ball with Steelworker, Rapid Spin, Earthquake, Gyro Ball, and Switcheroo. 252 in HP, 252 in attack, and an Adamant Nature. This is a weird one. Not Adamant, it's a Brave Nature. Iron Ball, Gyro Ball is a good thing, because 20 speed, most Mons I am getting a full power hit off on, and Earthquake hits things that Gyro Ball doesn't. And I can remove hazards. Switcheroo is here on the off chance that I can Switcheroo the Iron Ball onto Landorus. Or if I could put it onto predominantly Landorus, honestly. There's not really anything else I want the Iron Ball on. It'd be nice to take like leftovers from something, or to take, you know, an Assault Vest from Conkeldurr would be nice. Things like that, but in all honesty, it's just here so that I can get powerful Gyro Balls off, and to possibly ground the Landorus. Because if I ground the Landorus, I just click EQ all day with Mamoswine and win. Nothing else on his team, with the exception of Roserade. Oh, Roserade, Mesprit, Liepard, and Frostlass are what outspeed / are immune to Mamoswine after if I manage to ground Landorus. So it's a really good position to be in. The one thing is I have to be careful because this is my only hazard removal, and I have a not a very weak team to hazards this week, but my team definitely cannot be worn down by hazards by any means. I'm going to need to really play around that Landorus like there's no tomorrow. The one thing is that this thing is a very good check to Sylveon, because I'm pretty sure with the Iron Ball attached, let me just pull this up real quick. I think I still OHKO with, because of the Iron Ball, I OHKO with, what do you call it? What is that called? Yeah, I'd easily OHKO with Heavy Slam. If he brings like a Cleric not Heavy, oh, I don't want Heavy Slam, I want Gyro Ball. I don't know if I OHKO. Yeah, I do not OHKO a Sylveon with this, as opposed to where I would OHKO with Heavy Slam. I need to see what the calcs are now. Hold on, let me go back to Heavy Slam. Predominantly on the Landorus. That's the one thing I really care about. Gyro Ball does crazy damage to the Landorus, whereas Heavy Slam does less. So I guess it does weigh. I'm not expecting the Sylveon, so I would rather have the slow Gyro Ball as opposed to the Heavy Slam. It's just the Heavy Slam's a guaranteed OHKO on the Sylveon, whereas Gyro Ball isn't. Gyro Ball doesn't come close to OHKOing it, unless he runs like max speed, basically. So it's a very precarious situation for me to be in. That being said, it still has a potential to wall a lot of his team. Obviously, Conkeldurr causes problems with knockoff, Landorus with knockoff, Volcanion with Fire Blast, and that's about it. I can kind of sit in front of everything else as long as he's not packing SD Scizor. Roserade gets walled. No, it doesn't, because I'm not Assault Vest this week. Tyrantrum can't really do anything to me. I have a switch into Head Smash. I have a switch into okay, maybe not Head Smash, but Earthquake, Dragon Claw, things like that I could pretty much switch into pretty freely, which is nice. And the max attack, that's the other thing, is the Tyrantrum. If I have the slow Gyro Ball, I OHKO with that, whereas I don't OHKO with a... do I not OHKO? Oh, that's not... That's... Yeah, I OHKO a Gyro Ball, whereas I don't OHKO with Heavy Slam. I don't even come close. So it's kind of... It was between Sylveon and Tyrantrum, and Tyrantrum's a bigger threat to my team. So, yeah. As for things like Mesprit that I can't really touch with this set, Gyro Ball's still going to hurt because it is base 80 speed. Frostlass is still going to die to Gyro Ball. Liepard is still going to die to Gyro Ball. It's a good position to be in. I don't need a Heavy Slam for everything because Liepard is especially fast, and so is Frostlass, and that's a super effective hit, so it's a good position to be in. Next up, we have Mira, our Crobat. This is a long team builder. I'm sorry about that. Holding the Black Sludge with the Infiltrator, Super Fang, Roost, Whirlwind, and Heat Wave. 252 in HP, 28 in special attack, and 228 in speed with a Modest Nature. Basically, the 228 with a Modest Nature guarantees I outspeed his entire team, barring Scarf. Super Fang is there to deal with Scizor, or actually, it's really not there to deal with Scizor anymore. Now that I have Heat Wave, I originally had Brave Bird and U-Turn instead of Whirlwind and Heat Wave. Switch that because made it special, whatever. I have Super Fang for things like Kinkeldor, for things like Sylveon, for things like Mesprit, for things like Volcanion, obviously. It just allows me to whittle his team down really, really low, which is a really good thing to have. Obviously, nothing really wants to switch into Crobat, with the exception... nothing at all really wants to switch into Crobat knowing a Super Fang is coming. With the exception of, obviously, Frostlass, but I have Heat Wave to cover that weakness. So it's a really good place to be in. And if he does manage to set up Swords Dances with Scizor, if he gets 1 up, I'm pretty sure I could take it. If he gets 2 up, I just lose. So that's cool. No, I have Victini. I should be fine. But let me just double check this. I hate that I can't type in Mega Scizor into... God, that's annoying. If he brings Bulky Dance at +2, I could take a Bullet Punch. At +3, I cannot. I mean, at +4, I cannot. Victini, however... Oh, can easily take a +4 Bullet Punch. And I outspeed, so it's nothing to worry about. Obviously, Scizor cannot afford to switch in unless he's packing Roost, which if he is, I don't think he'd be packing SD. In general, it's just a really nice position to be in, and I have Whirlwind because I could Whirlwind him out if he does set up a Swords Dance, which is really good. And I have Heat Wave, so I could just straight up kill him if I wanted to. And it, like I said, it definitely helps for Kinkeldor. Brave Bird would also be nice for Kinkeldor, but I feel like Super Fang Heat Wave should be able to get the job done. Volcanion, I could Whirlwind out if I have Rocks up. I could have to try Super Fang, so I could force him down to 25 health, 25%. Roserade's going to take the Heat Wave relatively well because it's a Roserade, and it's like base 1 something ridiculous special defense, I'm pretty sure. But Tyrantrum's going to eat it pretty well, but I have Super Fang. Once again, Super Fang's just nice to whittle his entire team down. If he doesn't have recovery, it's even better. Especially if he doesn't bring Sylveon, he doesn't have Wish Pass. You probably can't even hear me right now. Without the Wish Pass, it's really, really easy to just break his team down with Super Fang, so I figured it was pretty worth it. And then Mamoswine cleans up eventually, so that was the thought process there. That's the team this week. It's really weird, I know. I'm not going to rely too heavily on the weird Victini-Delmise combination, but if it works, it'd be fucking hilarious. That's all I have for yesterday, though, because what? That's all I have for English. That's all I have for you guys today, though. If you guys like the video and want to share your support, be sure to hit the like button and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Also, remember to subscribe. You know, the drop with the saying if we're going to share, sharing is caring. Follow me on Twitter because I do updates and stuff. You know, when videos are coming out, it's good. You can contact with me, and sometimes I'm kind of funny. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll speak to you soon. Peace out.